Hello, friends. Once upon a time, there was an ant who worked very hard throughout the summer. He would go out in the morning to collect food and come back home in the evening after collecting enough food for himself. He did this every day, and he would always store some food for future use because he knew that winter was coming. One day, while he was collecting food, he saw a grasshopper nearby. The grasshopper had collected no food for winter, and so he asked the ant, "Hey, little ant, why are you working so hard? It's a beautiful day. Let's go and play." The ant replied, "No, I can't play with you today because I have to work. Winter is coming soon, and if I don't collect enough food now, I will be hungry later. I'm doing all this for my family, so I don't have time to play around." The grasshopper said, "You work too much. Life is not all about work. We should also have some fun. Look, I've already collected enough food for myself, and so I spend my days looking for food and playing around with my friends. You should do the same," the grasshopper said to the ant. The ant shook his head and continued to collect food. Every day the grasshopper would come up to the ant and ask him to play, but the ant would always refuse and continue to work. The grasshopper thought to himself, "This ant is such a fool. He doesn't know how to enjoy life. I'm having so much fun playing around with my friends all day, and he spends all his time working. What's the point of working hard when you can have fun instead?" The grasshopper spent his days playing and singing, and the ant spent his days collecting food. Summer passed, and one day the ant looked around and realized that he had collected enough food for himself and his family, so he stopped working and started relaxing. But the next day winter arrived. The temperatures dropped and the wind started blowing very hard. The trees became bare and the leaves disappeared. The ant went inside his home and gave some food to the other ants in his family. They were very happy because they would not be hungry during the winter. Meanwhile, the grasshopper came out of his hiding place. He was hungry and started searching for food, but he could not find anything. All the plants had dried up, and there was no food anywhere. The grasshopper was very sad, and he started to regret his decision of not collecting food. He went to the ant's house and said, "Please, little ant, give me some food. I'm very hungry." The ant saw that the grasshopper was hungry and felt sorry for him, so he gave him some food. The grasshopper ate the food and thanked the ant. Then he went away. Every day the grasshopper would come to the ant and ask him for food, and the ant would give it to him. This continued until spring arrived. One day, the ant woke up and found that the weather had become warm again. The flowers were blooming, and the trees had started to become green. The ant went outside and told the grasshopper, "Hey, it's a beautiful day. Let's go and play." The grasshopper said, "Okay," and both the ant and the grasshopper spent the day playing and singing. From that day on, the grasshopper started collecting food for himself. He worked hard during the summer so that he would not have to be hungry in the winter. The ant and the grasshopper remained friends till the end of their lives. Once upon a time, there was a lion who was the king of the jungle. One day, he went out for a walk in the jungle. As he was walking, he saw a mouse running on the ground. The lion became angry and said, "I'm going to eat you, little mouse." The mouse said, "Please don't eat me, Mr. Lion. Just let me go, and I will do you a favor one day." The lion laughed and said, "What kind of favor could a tiny mouse do for me?" The mouse said, "If you let me go this time, I will help you when you need it the most." The lion thought for a moment and said, "Well, I don't believe you, but let's see what you can do." He let the mouse go. The mouse kept this promise: save the lion one day. The lion was sleeping in the cave, and suddenly some hunters entered the cave and started poking the lion with sticks. The lion became angry and started roaring, which scared the hunters and made them run away. The lion wanted to chase the hunters and teach them a lesson, but he could not leave the cave because he had hurt his leg while fighting with a buffalo a few days ago. The lion was feeling sad because he could not walk properly. Just then, the mouse came running. He saw the lion and asked, "What happened, Mr. Lion? Why are you sad?" The lion told the mouse everything that had happened. The mouse said, "Don't worry, I'll help you." The mouse bit the rope with his sharp teeth and freed the lion's leg. The lion was very happy and said, "Thank you, little mouse. You kept your promise and helped me when I needed it the most. I was a fool to not trust you earlier." The mouse smiled and said, "It's okay, Mr. Lion. I'm just glad that I could help you. That is what friends are for." From that day on, the lion and the mouse became best friends. The lion learned that size doesn't matter, and that even a small mouse can be stronger than a big lion. Once upon a time, there was a poor woodcutter who lived deep in the forest with his wife and children. He was a kind man, and so everyone in the forest loved him, including the animals. One day, while the woodcutter was chopping wood in the forest, he heard a voice that said, "Help me, please help me." The woodcutter looked around, but he could not see anyone. He thought, "Maybe I'm just hearing things," and continued chopping wood. But then he heard the voice again, and it sounded like it was coming from a nearby tree. The woodcutter went to the tree and started to chop it. And when the tree fell down, he saw a beautiful woman under the tree. She was an elf, and she said to the woodcutter, "Thank you for saving me. How can I repay you for your kindness?" The woodcutter said, "I'm just returning the favor. You were trapped in that tree, and so I chopped it down to save you." The elf said, "I want to thank you by granting you 3 wishes. You can ask for anything you want, and I will make it happen." The woodcutter was very happy and said, "Wow, that's very kind of you. I'm not greedy, and so I won't ask anything for myself. Instead, I want my wife and children to be happy." The elf said, "That's a very selfless wish, and I'm honored to grant it. Your wife will become the most beautiful woman in the kingdom, and your children will become the smartest and most talented people in the world." And with that, the elf waved her magic wand, and the woodcutter's wife and children were transformed. The woodcutter's wife became the most beautiful woman in the kingdom, and their children became the smartest and most talented people in the world. The woodcutter was very happy for his family, and so he lived the rest of his life happily ever after. Friends, we have seen many stories today, and each story has taught us a different lesson. I hope you have enjoyed these stories and learned something from them. If you want to hear more stories, subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new stories. Also, share this video with your friends and family so that they too can enjoy these stories. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next story.